Welcome to Liberate University. Liberate University is free educational content released for the benefit and enjoyment of all. Many thanks to our gracious family of world-class practitioners for sharing their work.
Hi there, welcome to another episode of Liberate University. Today we're going to chat a little bit about taking full responsibility for your life. Okay, now I know you might get a little pushback. I might be feeling a little like, okay, what does that exactly mean? And it means exactly what it sounds like. We all are dealt different hands in life, and some of them might be a little bit more favorable at times, and some of them might be a little bit more challenging at times. But really, everything gives us something. If we choose to take the meaning from it, if we choose to take the lessons from it, and if we choose to take responsibility that we are at cause for our life. You know, and I get it. Like, you're not controlling all the outside world and all the other people's behaviors and reactions and what society's doing at large, but you do have always control and responsibility over how you deal with something. And if you can get to that point and say, I'm going to take full responsibility for my life, that actually creates this amazing freedom to exist that says, okay, not only are you taking full responsibility of your life, but on some level you are then being okay with how it's played out, okay? And I can go into that a little bit more in detail about, if you take a moment and you think about all of the things that have happened to you, for you, right? If you start to change it and allow it to be for you, you also realize that in this dealing and in this hand that you've been dealt, there's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of learning. There's a lot of challenges that you might have faced that allow you to become stronger, right? And it's in those challenges that we gain strength, that we gain more understanding of who we are. We gain more understanding of this beautiful experience called life, and what do we really desire and where do we want to take it next, right? And so if you can take a moment to take full responsibility for your life. I want you to take responsibility for your finances, exactly where they're at. I want you to take responsibility for your loneliness or the type of relationship that you're in. I want you to take responsibility even for your health and your well-being, your mindset, all of it. And when you can get to that point that says, okay, I'm at cause here. And if you can really say, I'm at cause here, you realize that you are powerful. And the more that you realize that you are at cause, the more powerful you become, and you realize that it doesn't matter what has happened up until this point. It matters where are you going to take your life from this point moving forward. Because the past is the past. It's never coming back, guys. Maybe there'll be a time machine. The way that we're inventing technology these days, I wouldn't be surprised if sometime in our lifetime we experience a time machine. But for right now, dealing with the circumstances that we have, we're not going back, right? And there is actually, why would you want to go back? If everything has given you something, and even the most horrible tragedies have taught you these beautiful lessons that have shaped, formed, and molded who you are as a person, there is no need to go back. There is no need to relive. There is no need to hold resentments or regret, to hold embarrassment or shame. There is just, how do I accept? And then you say, okay, if I'm not going back and I'm not changing my past and I'm not changing that story, how do you create a story from this point on? How do you start to shape your life and saying, I am responsible? So what little changes can I start to do right now today that lead me to the life that I desire instead of the life that I'm currently operating from? Okay? Now, you can still have love and appreciation for your life now and still say, I am curious about experiencing a different life. I want to, and I'm wondering what it would be like to have more money, deeper love, more this, more that, whatever that may be. But let's start right now with responsibility. Responsibility for that you played a role in every dynamic in your life. Every relationship, every problem, every challenge, every little detail. And you also played a role in those successes. You played a role in those accomplishments. You played a role in all of it. And when we can get you to be in that point, in this power center that says, okay, now that I'm at responding to my life and responsible for my life, what steps do I want to take from here, right? And I know that some of you might be getting caught up on bigger aspects in your life. I know that some of you might be getting caught up on, well, how do I take responsibility for that time that that person literally beat me up or did this horrible thing to me? How do I take responsibility? You take responsibility for how you're dealing with the situation now, how you're allowing it to continue to affect you. You can take responsibility for how you choose to let it go, what you choose to do as a result of those experiences, right? And when you can get into that space, it's not about putting a guilt on yourself. It's not about shaming yourself. It's not even about making you wrong. In any of those situations, it's about merely saying, okay, I am responsible for how I respond. I am responsible about what I do moving forward. I am responsible for me. And when you can take that on, you can look into this whole beautiful world that exists and say, where do you want to put your energy and focus? Where do you want to take those next steps? Where do you want to start today? Right? And if you want to say, let's look at health for a moment. If you want to say, okay, I'm responsible for my health, well, then how can you allow yourself to start changing your diet, the eating behaviors? How can you allow yourself to just say, you know what, you don't need to search for the best, most ideal personal trainer or the best right time for you to work out. Just start moving. Start a little bit here, start a little bit there, and as you continue to build upon it, you will see that you start to create different habits. You start to shape different elements in your life. You start to live a little bit differently because you started to be responsible for your days, your hours, your minutes in your life. And you can allow yourself to look at that for everything. Your career, you can be responsible for where your career is at. You can be responsible for where your love life is at. How much have you allowed yourself to work on yourself or look at yourself? What steps have you taken or not taken? Right? And so as you start to allow yourself to look at all of these different areas of your life, I want you to allow yourself to just for a moment try on that you can be responsible. And that in that responsibility, you can start to create and shape and form a new life for yourself. In one of those facets or in all of those facets. And that's the joy of allowing yourself to be in control. Because that puts you in the power seat once again in your life. And that allows you to see that this world has this beautiful essence that you get to create. So try it out, go through each of the areas of your life and see where you can start to find some responsibility. Thank you for joining. Until next time.
Thank you for being a part of this class. We hope to see you at the next one.